gonna cook something. It occurred to me that there's a lot of folks out there that have a little bit of trouble doing fried chicken. Now, I've put a couple of videos on here about how I cook chicken and different ideas I've come up with. But what I wanted to share with you today is a foolproof way to fry chicken without burning it, without mucking it up. I mean, it's foolproof. You cannot screw this up. And especially you young people out there that are just learning to cook, you're going to impress your in-laws tremendously if they happen to come over to have this fried chicken. And for those of you that have been cooking a long time, like I have, this was a technique that I actually come across watching that Triple D on TV on the Food Network. I saw a technique and I had never even thought about it before. And it's amazing. That's all I can tell you. It's just amazing. So we're going to get into the basics here real quick, and then we're going to get us some chicken cooking. Now you're not going to get to see my pretty face no more because we're going to concentrate on what's going on the table. Well, alrighty. The first thing is, I've already done this. I put one egg and some milk into a container, and I shook it up real good. Now, I could have put this one egg and some milk in a bowl. I could have used a whisk, you know, to mix it up and all that. But this is just easy and convenient. And what I like about it is, especially today, I'm not going to cook all this chicken at one time. So because I got a nice convenient lid on this container, I can set this in the refrigerator and use it after a while. This is one egg and some milk. That's all it is, okay? There's nothing else in it. You will learn to season food to your liking, okay? The next thing I've got is a container. This container we're going to use could be a Ziploc bag. It could be a paper sack. It could be a bowl, okay? Because what this container is going to hold is nothing more than flour and seasoning, because that's what we're going to coat our chicken in. So all I'm going to do is put me a little bit of flour in here. And then you put the seasoning of your choice. You put salt and pepper. You put basil. You can put Italian seasoning. You put anything you want to in your chicken. And my chicken today, I'm going to experiment. I'm going to use this Memphis style barbecue seasoning that I got at the Dollar Tree. And that's what I like about cooking. I mean, you can always experiment, try new things. And you use quite a bit of seasoning when you mix it into that flour like that, because it's not all gonna, it's not like you're coating it like in some other videos. And then what you want to do, whether it be a Ziploc bag or it be a paper sack or whatever, is after you've added that seasoning to that flour, mix it up real good. And that's if you added seasoning. You don't even have to add seasoning. You're just going to do it to suit you, because you're the only one that's got to be pleased. All right, an egg and milk and some flour. That's all we're going to put on our chicken. Now I want to talk to you about cutting up chicken. I got these thighs for 35 cents a pound. So this 4.64 pound package only cost me $1.60. But if you go to try to deep fry a big old piece of chicken like that, it takes quite a while. When you're doing it from home, you ain't got a big old broaster and pressure cooker like they use in the gas stations. Well, what I have learned to do is take this thigh and cut it into 3 pieces. I go on one side of the bone and I cut that piece off right there. And then I go on the other side of the bone and I cut that piece off. And now what I've got are 3 pieces that will cook fairly quickly, instead of having to wait, you know, for a long time for that to finally get done down there in the middle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of chicken down in our container that has our milk and egg. Oh, what do I do with my tongs? Okay. So, I dip my chicken in my egg and milk. I'm going to pull that piece out. Whoop. Once again, I'm going to pull that piece out. I'll let the excess drip off of it. I'm going to drop it in my container full of flour. Shake it up, get it coated real good.
It's not fried, Daddy. It's shake and bake. And we helped.
Where is it? I know it's in there somewhere. There it is. Okay. You see how white that is? Because it's covered with that flour. Well, now I'm just going to lay that over here on a plate. We'll lay it over there and forget about it for now. We'll drop another piece of chicken in my egg and milk. Make sure it's coated good. Let the excess drip off of it and put it in my flour. Make sure it's got flour all over everything. Just lay it aside. And you're going to do this over and over and over. You're going to do this until you've done all the chicken that you're going to cook. Okay? Because we're not in any hurry right now to put this in oil. Because the longest step is the time that it spends sitting on that plate right there after it's got the flour on it. I had one woman say, "Pawpaw, don't you cook more than one piece of chicken at a time?" Yes, I do. And when I'm doing it on the stove top and I don't know what that temperature is, sometimes I'll just cook one piece just to see how long it takes and see how it's doing. And I can adjust my temperature from there. However, since I bought this little old Presto kettle here, man, have I fell in love with this thing. I've learned what settings are what on here, even though it's marked. I set that to the temperature I want, and then we go on about our business. Okay, I'm going to pause the video because I want that chicken to look wet. Okay? We'll be back. One of the things I do when I'm in the house here, working on my decals and etched glass and that kind of thing, or on YouTube, uploading videos, one of the things I'll do is I'll have the TV on in the background, and I like the Food Network. And as I alluded to before, I learned a technique on Triple D, Diners drive-ins and dives, something like that. Anyway, there was a restaurant that specializes in fried chicken, and this guy has got just this whole bank of deep fryers set up. I mean, for a long way, bunch of deep fryers. Now, when I worked fast food, it was pretty much a golden rule that everything was set at 350 degrees. That you cooked at 350, and that's just the way it was. Everything was 350, and you cooked it till it floats. Cook it till it floats. Well, sometimes if you're cooking something thick like a chicken thigh or big chicken leg or even a chicken breast, sometimes what happens is that outside crust will get real dark before the chicken is done all the way through. Well, this one feller that I saw was cooking his chicken just above 300 degrees. And it took longer. But I tried this technique and I was like, oh my goodness. Because you didn't have to worry about it suddenly turning dark or a burnt taste. The oil lasts longer. And all I did here is I just filtered the oil right through a sieve and a paper towel to get any bits that was sitting in the bottom of the oil. And that's another thing, is more often you change, or at least filter your oil, get all those crumbs and stuff out so they don't continue to cook and burn up and all that. It'll make your oil last a lot longer, make it taste better too. So anyway, what I want to show you here now is I want to show you that this chicken, there's this camera where it needs to be. This chicken now, you can see some flour on there, and then you can see where it just looks wet. Hope you can see that. See here, it just looks wet, but that's covered in flour. And when we deep fry this, it's going to have a crust on it. And I have this little kettle, this little Presto cooker, set just barely past 300 degrees. And I have grown to really like this thing. I use it to cook rice in. You can boil, you can fry, you can do whatever you want to in here. But see how wet that is? So we're just going to put these almost like chicken tenders in there. There we go. And because this isn't so crazy hot, this chicken is not like explosive bubbling, you know. It's just doing its thing. So we're just going to let that cook for a while, and then we'll come back. Let's see what time it is. Here at my house, right now it's 5 minutes after 1. We're going to let that cook for a while, and we'll be back. All right, well, it's been in here 9 minutes, and that piece over there is floating really good. Well, it's hard to see because this light is so bright. I'll show you in a few minutes. But this chicken is not at all dark. Let's see if you can. Hell, let me just take it outside. It's better light anyway. What I want you to see is that chicken is not dark. Been cooking for almost 10 minutes. It's got a beautiful tan color to it. And man, I'm ready to eat. People have been wanting me to do some more how-to videos. Hell, it's standing out there, it's raining on top of my old bald head. Now this piece has the bone in it. It's trying to float. I'm gonna give it one more minute while I check these other pieces. Ooh, hot. Ooh, hot. There we go. That chicken cooked for 10 minutes and it is absolutely perfect, I'm telling you. It's juicy. Got a beautiful color to it, and that chicken is ready to eat. And the piece of the bone, the bubbling calmed down quite a bit on it, so you tell most of the moisture was done on that one. So get back out here in some daylight. Folks, the point I want to make to you is that by using a lower temperature, the crust on the chicken isn't turning so dark so fast, okay? Cooked in there for 10 minutes. It didn't go whoosh the minute you put something in the hot oil, because the oil wasn't as hot. The crust itself is not hard and crispy, although it does have a little bit of a crunch to it. But it's really good. It's cooked throughout. It's not greasy, as you can tell by my paper towel is not covered in grease. So the point I'm trying to make in this whole video is this. Cut them big pieces of chicken down into something more manageable. Something to cook quicker. That way you don't have to worry so much about it overcooking the outside. So cut your pieces into manageable sizes. And don't run your temperature so high. Like I said, this was just over 300 degrees on that little dial thing, okay? And man, it just turned out perfect. So this is PawPaw's Foolproof chicken. You saw every step I did. I didn't hide nothing. Everything was put on video. And I'm telling you folks, now this is some good chicken right here. Oh, real good. It's foolproof. You can't screw this up. If you cooked it by accident another 5 minutes, it wouldn't have hurt it because it wasn't so hot. But it's done. Well, I'm gonna go eat some more chicken. Y'all have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye. That's some good chicken right there. Good.